It's gonna be a fantastic match tonight.
Mm-hmm. So what do we think about their sprite choices?
Bunny and the Cactar, yeah, it's interesting.
All right, so 5 rupees here in Link's house, and zer0rush will be heading on up to the Uncle's Tunnel, as is tradition.
So, question for you: you're a Royal Guard, and now you see a 6-foot cacti charging you. What do you do?
Well, I shuffle my feet for a second, and then I charge in. That's apparently what they do. But then I also get killed.
I mean, I'd probably just step to the side and just let him do his thing, but yeah, teach your own, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to, but then my programming would decide, nope. Unfortunately, my programming does not allow my emotions to take over if I am a guard. Alright, so there's the small key for escape in the sanctuary. So we know we'll be able to reach that dark chest from either side.
Right, and both players actually electing to go north route here through Kakariko and Lost Woods.
Yeah, that's the case. It could have been that they might have decided to go to Houlihan and then come out at the entrance again, but that's a seldom seen opening. Now I feel like I'm talking about chess.
So we do get 20 rupees from the crab, which is really good for zer0rush because he's going to be able to buy bombs quite handily.
Mm-hmm. All this money, you can get tons of money from the crabs, and that will that can very much alleviate all of your money needs for the rest of the game.
And speaking of red rupees, we now know that Lumberjack Cave is not worth.
Yep. Whole lot of diddly going on right now. zer0rush finds a large heart sitting in the woods and decides to pick it up. It turns out to be the sanctuary heart. So yeah, the sanctuary heart sitting there in the Lost Woods. If I see a big heart there, I think I'm picking it up.
Yeah, I might as well. It's early on, and you only have the 3 hearts still, so anytime you can get the early health, it's really good.
Yeah. I know some people can do like the whole game on just 3 hearts, but tournament setting is no time to show off.
I still can't get over that Cactar sprite. It's so awesome.
Oh yeah, it's great. See, we had a racer who just recently was eliminated from the secondary tournament, but his name is Sabatender, which is it's the Japanese name for the cactars. And so I was very happy when that happened. I was like, dude, you gotta use that cactar sprite.
So we actually do see Wulfy getting the bomb tree pull, which is really great for him. Meanwhile, Zero has to buy bombs. So what that essentially means is Zero just kind of had to spend a good 25 seconds walking through Kakariko for nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. But what are you going to do?
You're going to buy bombs. That's what you're going to do.
Correct. All right, so Wulfy heading into the Blind's hut here, and we will find 5 items. There's the blue boomerang, but other than that, just a whole bunch of pieces of heart. And there's that power glove. It's so bad. Alright, so Wulfy heading into Kakariko Well. 5 more items inside here. We've got 20 rupees. 50 rupees. 20 more rupees and some pieces of heart. So just a whole lot of money in life here in the well, so not much. And the bottle vendor just giving you 20 rupees back in change.
Yeah, the seed definitely trying to spice things up with that 20 rupee at the bottle vendor.
It's better than 1 rupee at the bottle vendor.
Yeah, that's at tavern.
Yep.
All right, so here's hoping for some excitement coming up at the library and the race game.
Yep. All right, so we have literally 1 progression item right now, and that's the glove. So I feel like if I was in these players' shoes, and this is just a minor optimization, but I would actually just run into the race game and not go down and check. Just because I figure the odds are pretty high, but nope, turns out not.
All right, so zer0rush actually electing to check the back 3 chests in escape right now with that power glove. Pretty smart play considering we have had a whole lot of nothing other than that glove so far.
That is a perfectly logical play and gets the job done. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be a little difficult for him to get to the basement or the sewer chest. It's possible. It's just very difficult because you need to be able to kill that rat that drops the key. And there's the moon pearl. And blue mail. All right. Now, for those of you who are watching, it's very subtle to see the difference in the Cactuar sprite for the blue versus red mail. It changes, or the green versus blue mail. It changes little spinies along the top and the sides of him.
So the backstory there is that he actually tried putting it on and it just got ripped to shreds. So that's the remainder of the blue tunic on his spines.
That is the best. I don't know if that's an actual backstory, but
it is now.
Or if you just made that up, but I'll take it either way. Meanwhile, Wolfie did not go to the back of Escape yet. But emphasis on yet.
So at that point, if zer0rush does actually hit 500 rupees, and with that moon pearl, he might actually elect to do some fake flippering around, and he might even take that to Zora, because with the power glove in hand, Zora is actually within logic.
Mm-hmm. You actually took that insight right out of my head. I was like, Zora, and then you just started saying it. I was like, yep. He is going to want to try to pick up another 20 rupees, but he's got plenty of places to check before then. One of them's bound to have a big 20 in it. Alright, so zer0rush's going to have to be careful with his bomb count.
Oh no, he's got to get the 2, and he's not happy right now.
Alright, you got to nail this shot. Oh! Don't know if it'll happen.
I was hoping
and
for
that's
the bomb
it.
drop.
Yeah, you had to hope for the bomb drop there.
So that's actually bad news for him, because now he's gonna have to spend money getting bombs near Lake Hylia, and Wolfie now checking these 5 chests in the Moldon cave.
Yep. There's plenty of big 20s in this cave, and a sword, and some bombs just to taunt zer0rush.
Just rubs it in.
Oh yeah, I think he was checking the island there, but I didn't get to see it.
I thought he just had to cool off from all the salt that just
That could
happened.
be it too.
But I like your answer better. So he's actually going to elect to not go to Mini Moldorm now. Not a bad play because for the most part, Eastern doesn't require a weapon to complete the dungeon. And he's probably only looking to check the first 2 chests, as well as Sash Cave here.
Yep, very true.
That is if he elects to go to Eastern. I think he will.
It's possible. It is a pendant, however, to be honest, Oh, the hammer! The hammer sitting there in Sazrala's hut. That is huge.
There's his weapon. Meanwhile, Wolfie's actually going to... Looks like he's going to commit to escape.
See, now that I have the hammer, I might decide against going to Eastern. Because that's Dark World access.
Right, I think he's thinking while he's here, he might as well give it a stab and see what he gets at.
Right. Well, he's got enough needles to do it.
All the needles.
He might even have 1,000 of them. Alright, so there is the piece of heart there in the escape. We're seeing the front end of escape from Wolfie. And off we go. So we're checking both Eastern and the escape. Both of these are, you know, there's a little bit in between each one. Did zer0rush? Nah, he picked it up, I'm sure.
Yeah, he checked it. I can't get over this Cactar Sprite, man. Look at his little arms just flailing around. It's just adorable.
Alright, so Wolfie doing an excellent job taking down the ball and chain guard.
Just $5. Meanwhile, zer0rush just happening to beat up some clouds with pots.
Yep. So, let's see what's in the big chest here. Just some explosives. Alright, so I imagine zer0rush will probably check that mini Moldorm cave again, now that we have a reusable weapon.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if he's going to check Hype Cave first, but it looks like he's going to elect to check Moldorm Cave. Either or is not a bad play.
Yeah. Hype Cave is certainly a thing. It's 100% in play at the moment. Yeah. I know a lot of people will say that the Cactar Sprite also does resemble Pickle Rick, but it's not Pickle Rick. Oh, we had a map check real quick there, and I just completely missed it. Alright, so Wolfie heading into Hype Cave. What do we have?
Not Hype.
Oh,
Hype.
I disagree.
Doesn't matter. I never said that.
We get the
boots.
boots and bombos. Boots and bombos in Hype Cave. We've got ourselves a mess here. Alright, zer0rush steps into the Dark World to do a Hype Cave check of his own.
Yeah, so anytime there's boots in Hype Cave, it's automatically Hype.
It looks like our remaining pendants may have been Turtle Rock and Thieves Town. At least according to the chat.
Yeah, Thieves Town being an interesting pendant just because it becomes that game of, are racers going to avoid it? Are they only going to do the first 4? Or are they going to commit to the full clear?
Yep. So we had the Racer X11 with a quick subscription here with Twitch Prime. Thank you for that. Alright, so Wolfie begins the digging game. Anywhere from 1 to 30 digs can happen, and we will see exactly how many that's going to be. And it's just another 20 rupees after 19 digs.
Alright, so zer0rush trying his hand on the digs as well. Meanwhile, Wolfie's going to check out Bon Cave and probably do Skull Thieves combo right now.
Yep, it's entirely possible. So we've got ourselves a good look at what the crystals and pendants are, which means that we could begin calculating the pedestal hype index. Now, so we know the bow cannot be there because Eastern is a pendant.
Hookshot, flute, flippers, or basically medallion again in a mire at this point, or maybe even progression for it. Like a fetch quest.
Yeah, it's easier to name the items that can't be there. I mean, I think mirror could be there.
Yeah, you're right. It could be there as well.
We know that mitts can't be there. Cane can't be there.
Both rods.
Both rods can't be there. Could have the lamp be there.
It can't because
no,
of,
it can't. No, it can't because of Eastern. You're right. I messed up.
Fired.
No. It disappeared. So anyway, it's enough of that. So now we've got both zer0rush and Wolfie checking out the Village of Outcasts. Village of Outcasts, of course, having 3 items just lying around, and then that all-important Thieves Town dungeon.
Alright, meanwhile, Wolfie making the play into Thieves right now. So what's really going to influence Wolfie in Zero's decision is how many items they get in the first 4 chests.
Right. There are 4 items in Thieves Town, and in the first 4 chests, you have the potential to pick up 3 of them. How's that for an item? We've got ourselves, I think it was the Fire Rod.
I know it was definitely a rod, and I'm pretty sure it was the Fire Rod.
And there we go. That's going to make Skull Woods be a more enticing play for sure. Yeah. The reason you can't get all 4 out here is because you need the big key in one of the chests. So Wolfie locates 2 of the 4 items in this dungeon. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I think that answered our question too, is that they only have 2, so Wolfie's going to commit. I think Zero's going to make the same play, especially with Thieves being green pendant. It just gives you another item bonus out of it.
Yep. So you could say that, in theory, Thieves Town has 5 items, counting that green pendant. 5 1/3 if you count the pedestal. So the bunny sprite for the cactuar is in fact a tiny chocobo. All right, so Wolfie heading through Grasshopper Alley. Kind of a treacherous place if you have the green mail, and blue mail isn't that much better. There's the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, what are one of the worst enemies in the game, too, because of the RNG with them. They basically are the rats, except colored green, looking like grasshoppers, and do 2 hearts of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And our friend the Cactar is going to blend in quite nicely in this room.
Very true. The background is pretty similarly colored. It's like, are we sure we're not playing with the Invisible Man sprite? No, I'm kidding. So, Wolfie now heads over to check the right-hand side. So one of the things you like to have when you get here to Thieves Town is the hammer. The hammer's kind of important. It blocks this big chest.
Yeah, it does, but I think it's a more acceptable gamble than some of the other ones in the game.
Right.
I mean, if you don't...
Oh!
Just as I say that.
There it is. Actual vanilla item, by the way. The Titan's Mitts found in Thieves Town in their actual vanilla chest. There we go. Yeah, Now, there was basically no chance of them getting here without the hammer, but if they had decided to come in here without the hammer, that would have been awful.
Yeah, it would have.
And Wolfie will be dealing with the blind fight. He seems to be somebody who knows what to do.
Yeah, he almost has the script quite perfect in right now. He's gonna have no problems.
Oh yeah, very nice. Now, of course, we just pick up the map and the green pendant, which could be something. zer0rush also taking care of business quite well here. With those Titan's Mitts, Wolfie is making a play on the Peg Cave.
Yeah, it's pretty close by, why not?
Yeah, and then if you plan on picking up the blacksmith later, since you don't have the mirror, there's no reason to save the Peg Cave for that time. So there is just a big heart in the Peg Cave, and Wolfie's going to leave that behind. And Wolfie is actually going to head north, up to Skull Woods, probably. No, actually. It looks like he might check Bumper Cave first. Just an arrow upgrade on Bumper Cave today. So the cape, not particularly required for that. And I think we can pretty confidently say not required for anything. The only other thing it would be required for is to get into Aghanim's Tower, and of course, Aghanim's Tower, just not going to happen today.
Yeah, of course, with the hammer, it is 100% not required.
Yep. So, upon entering Skull Woods, both players, very similar locations, in the same room at the same time even, and got a small key, big key on the left side. That means the lower room will not be required.
And there's the bow.
The bow is found in Skull Woods.
Yeah, and that's going to open up Eastern and Pod outside of sequence or logic, just because they don't have the lamp yet. But I don't think that's going to stop either of these runners.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't see them voluntarily clearing Eastern without either exhausting all their options or knowing what's on the pedestal. But Pod is definitely a play that you could make here. Much faster than the last race we had here in our tournament, finding that bow. Alright, so Wolfie gonna use that that clutch, that fall master, so to speak, to get out quicker. And off we go. So Wulfy and zer0rush both heading into the back end of Skull Woods here, and they're both very, very close to each other. Super close. Merely a couple of seconds separating them. And I believe for the most part they have the same items. So zer0rush is using the hammer.
Very nice fight.
And that was an excellent fight for zer0rush. Wulfy's going to use a little bit of fire rod strats, and then he's going to switch to the hammer, I think. Yeah. So the hammer deals the same amount as the tempered sword, and the tempered sword will take down Mothula in 4 hits. And it looks like, while I was, talking about the fight, we got an interesting drop, and we'll see that again here on Wulfy's side. It's the flippers! So that's part of the puzzle they need to get into Swamp Palace, and according to the logic, also Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think we're going to finally see some major route divergences right now with the Titans and the Flippers found.
So zer0rush is heading into the front part of Escape, which we saw Wulfy check a little while ago. Wasn't a whole lot. No, I don't believe we had any fake flipper action whatsoever yet. And now we could have real flipper action. So we could see the Zora and the Hobo check.
And we do see our green pendant cash in already with Wulfy's side, and it's just a heart container.
Very true. So, not particularly necessary at the moment. Wulfy looks to be heading back into Eastern Palace. I think maybe Wulfy didn't check Eastern at all.
Yeah, Wulfy hasn't been into Eastern yet, so he's probably going to do Eastern at this point and then go into Pod after.
Well, if you were going to do that, I'd kind of want to go unlock Pod. Oh wait, I don't have the mirror. What am I talking about? No mirror. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It is an interesting play because Eastern is a pendant and we do have a bow with hammers, so Pod being a crystal, if you find the mirror there, it would allow for an easier transition for Eastern, but I guess Wulfy's just hoping to find some value in here.
Yep. I'm quite impressed with Wulfy's rupee count at the moment. Wulfy's rupee count is equal to zer0rush's needles count.
I was going to say, you just wish it was zer0rush's rupee count, don't you?
You are correct. Alright, so zer0rush appears to be making his way through the dark escape or something. Yeah, it's the dark escape. Now he went in the front way, which means he doesn't have to kill the rat in the dark. He could use that fire rod to actually light a torch.
Oh, did you see what he got? He got the Master Sword.
Wow, nice. I'm glad you were able to spot that. Because I looked at the menu and I was like, what's different?
That's a very nice pickup.
Good job.
Great find early on. A nice equipment advantage for zer0rush. He's going to feel a lot more comfortable now without dealing with the Feather Sword. Both our runners are highly skilled as is, so it's not really going to bother him too much, but you are going to gain on some speed now.
So zer0rush is heading into the water. We'll see what we go look at. Yeah, we're going to Zora first, and I feel like, you know, Hobo might happen later, followed by just a straight trip into ice. There's the flute! The flute's sitting there at the Waterfall of Wishing. And another sword on Zora's ledge.
That's massive, man.
Oh, man. Zora looks like the way to go this time.
Wulfy actually electing to save and quit here.
All right. Zora himself not really paying out, but who cares? He's got a sword sitting on his ledge. Meanwhile, Wulfy is checking the King's Tomb. Half magic found in the King's Tomb. That is amazing.
It's also nice to find there.
Quite. And it looks like zer0rush will be following suit. I think we'll head to that and then pick up the bonk rocks potentially, and then maybe head over and activate that flute.
It looks like Wulfy's about to pick up his flute and Master Sword now. So that'll be great for him.
He's also going to check Ice Rod Cave, which zer0rush did not. Now, if you don't mind, I have something prepared.
By all means, go ahead.
Alright, everyone please rise for our national swag duck anthem. If I may be so bold, I bet the seat is troll, and I'd probably fold and give up the fight, but I'm sure that our runners would never give up their good, and so I think that you should give them some hype.
I'm going to give that 3 bows in pod out of 5.
3 bows in pod out of 5, excellent. I'll take it. I didn't realize the sound was going to come in.
Alright, so Wulfy going right to Ice Palace here. I like this play. I imagine he's not going to like it because, you know, no Master Sword yet or flute.
Right.
And, meanwhile, zer0rush finding all the swords, sees the Butter Sword on Spectacle Rock and is about to get his lamp actually inside the cave.
Wow. That's huge.
It's actually massive. Every dungeon that Zero now does with either Tempered or Butter over Wolfie is going to be minutes saved.
Yep, and even that lamp, that's gonna, save some time over not being able to see. Because generally, when you can't see, you can do things pretty quickly, but not as quickly as if you can see. You're usually doing some sort of feel strategies or built-in stuff to make sure you know exactly where you're going to be at what time. All right, so no, the lamp was in Spike Cave. It was in Spectacle Rock Cave. So here we go. Alright, so Wolfie is inside Ice Palace, doing a excellent job with the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Meanwhile, zer0rush is electing to go to pod now.
Yep. Pals of Darkness, 100% available. Seems like a pretty great play.
I'm actually interested. Did Zero check Mire area yet with that flute?
I don't think so.
Oh! Watch Wolfie's screen. He's gonna do the bomb jump. I love this one.
This is gonna be an impressive bomb jump right here. There
he has to be.
You had it. And
yeah, he has to be pixel perfect on the bottom. Going to the right's not the problem. It's getting the bomb in the right spot. There we go.
There we go. Nailed it.
There it is.
Excellent jump from Wolfie. Meanwhile, Zero takes a dip into the Mullet Mansion. While we see what sort of business and/or party we can find here. All right, so one big key for Wolfie.
And one big key for zer0rush. It was like synchronized big keys.
Big keys, 4 days, as well as small keys. All right. So zer0rush heading to the right side of pod, which is the Bowlock section. There's a couple of chests over here you can access that are otherwise unavailable. And Wolfie finds the silver arrows in Ice Palace.
He's going to be happy to see that, specifically just because he only has Fighter Sword. So if he doesn't run into a sword, which I imagine he will soon with the flute, definitely going to make his run a lot easier now. Except on bosses like Cold Stare, of course.
Very true. Silver arrows are excellent for anything that's vulnerable to arrows to begin with. They deal just an absurd amount of damage. And Wolfie with a very slick bomb jump. This is something you don't see too often. Someone opening the big chest in Ice Palace by falling down to it. That's the intended route by the game, but the Most of our runners will use the hook shot to pull that off. Unfortunately, the hook shot not available at the moment. Yeah, Wolfie did just about every possible bomb jump. And here we go. So Wolfie using the Bombo strats on Cold Stare, which makes sense because with only the fighter's sword, you're gonna want to use that magic on the puffballs for Cold Stare.
Almost ran out too, but does in fact take out Cold Stare with the Fire Rod. Very nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, zer0rush finishing off Helmsor.
And Helmsor drops a shield today. And so there we go. Looked like Pod just didn't have much. So there was plenty of business, but no party there.
Oh, he still has much more Pod to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he did go down to finish off Helmsor early. So we've got a mess to take care of here. Is it Hammer Yump time? I think it's Hammer Yump time.
It's Hammer Yump time and it's flute time for Wolfie.
Yeah. Wolfie picks up that flute.
I gotta ask, do you have a second verse prepared?
No. I usually just do one. I mean, I could do an old one when it happens. There's the mirror in Pod! Oh! So the mirror is live. So that makes it where you can get into Swamp, but you don't want to because you don't have the hook shot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and depending on what Myers' medallion requirement is, but that's a hook shot away from go mode.
Well, it is now.
Never mind. And that red cane.
Because Solsky, I have to ask you, were you aware that it is in fact required to be Kane?
I am now, because apparently I wasn't watching the race for the last 42 minutes. I mean, every item I've talked about and said, hey, this isn't gonna be anything, it's been everything, so I'm just gonna stop talking. For Wolfie's sake.
Oh, so I was sitting here saying, you know, Pod doesn't have anything. Just, we hadn't been to the party yet. Now, I think he left a chest behind, but I don't think he left an item. I don't think he opened the big key chest.
Yeah, so watch for zer0rush to go right for East Death Mountain, Darkwell Death Mountain, and T-Rock area now. And even Hera. Like, that whole mountain area has been broken wide open.
Oh, yeah. Death Mountain is a go.
Yeah, he's got almost everything open to him, too. There's so much open for Zero, and even Wolfie now with the flute. Like, Meyer, which he's going towards right now, Desert, East Death Mountain, Darkwell Death Mountain, Hera, T-Rock. A lot of openness for our guys to manage around right now.
Yep. I believe that is correct. The hook shot is the one thing that's required unless ether is required, which I don't believe it is.
Nope. Unless also it's required to get hookshot via T-Rock, but we won't know that for a while.
least according to our tracker, the Misery Mire item or medallion is the Quake medallion. And so zer0rush goes in and picks up the cape. But if I'm not mistaken, he was the one who checked Bumper Cave. So he knows it's not required, he just wants it.
Wulfy was the one that checked Bumper Cave. Zero went right to Skull.
Oh, okay. Either way, there's nothing wrong with wanting cape. It can be quite useful for safety strats and things like that on Ganon, etc. So Wulfy did go ahead and grab the lamp as well. And there's the hookshot in Desert Palace!
zer0rush is in go mode.
Yeah!
That's fast, man. 45 minutes. Wow.
Woo! Somebody wanted to go to bed tonight. It is go mode. There's the powder.
I mean, we could be seeing a sub 115 here. This is gonna be very exciting.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves a seed.
And Wulfy actually heading in the right direction. Well, gonna go to pod and pick up his right cane mirror. It's just a question of, does he ignore the massive amount of items that wait for him in Death Mountain, or does he go right to Desert for that hook shot?
Yeah, so the silvers are in Ice Palace, and zer0rush probably won't get them. You know?
Yeah, unless he goes full Andy and checks Freezer in go mode.
Yeah. I was not aware that was something Andy would do, but now I am.
He actually did it in his world record run for Rando.
Wow.
He was in go mode and he checked Freezer and it had silvers.
That is impressive. Alright, so zer0rush finishes off Landmola's. He's got 3 more crystals to pick up, it looks like.
Other than Mire, they're really quick crystals too, because Hera, Swamp, and Ice Palace are very, very quick.
Oh, excuse me, 4 more crystals. I don't know how to numbers.
It's okay, we all know you're very excited by the quick go mode.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I haven't seen it go mode this quick in a long time. So we're taking care of Mire. That's going to be the one that could take a long time. Ooh, we may want to start the big key game a little early today. Mostly on account of Hera's going to be the last one he does. Usually the protocol is start when the 7th crystal drops and stop it when you go into Ganon's tower. Well, that's going to be like 10 seconds. Yeah, not this early. Just making sure people know. So the minimal requirement for go mode, that's an interesting problem to think about. We know there are some items that will always be required. But yeah, it definitely depends on where the crystals are and what's available. Alright. So Wolfie will be heading over to Helmasaur King. That'll be a pretty quick kill. Thanks for the bits there, Roggen.
Nice quick big key to Admire.
Nice. Good quick big key. It's not. We don't have to go through the cutscene.
Either the cutscene or gamble right side at that point, yeah.
We'll see what Wolfie decides to do. That could make a difference. Some people will go flick the switch and then immediately head right side. And some people will go straight for the cutscene room. So we'll see. So yeah, Wolfie is doing the same route through Pod that zer0rush did, and that is he's going to go finish Helmasaur, then he's going to go back in and pick up other items. Yeah.
Actually interesting in a seed like this quick. I would imagine even if you're in Wolfie's shoes right now, you're not thinking you're behind at all.
Yeah. Wolfie also pulling off that hammer jump rather nicely. And he will be walking in here, picking up this mirror, and then proceeding to the backside. And off we go. So, Wolfie will pick up that cane shortly. After he heads downstairs for a second.
Is it required to be cane?
It is. People will tell you that it is required to be cane. It may in fact have to be cane. And Wolfie is also going to peace out, knowing that the remaining two chests have to be a small key and the compass. And zer0rush heading into Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace is a great place to do when you're in go mode.
Well, Wolfie going exactly where he wants to go now.
Oh yeah. He's gonna head over to the mire area. And it does look like we will be seeing Desert first, which is definitely what he needs. Checking that ledge item real fast. Just 20 rupees. All right. So there we go. Wolfie picks up that hook shot. He's in go mode. We have ourselves a race.
Unfortunately for Wolfie right now, he is in go mode, but he is a little bit behind just on dungeons right now, and he does only have the Master Sword, so will be a little bit of a disadvantage for him, but he does have the silver advantage.
Yeah. Well, Master Sword Silvers, I still think is a worse fight than Tempered Sword Silverless. We'll see if zer0rush decides to pick up the butter sword on the way up there, or if Wulfy does. We know it's on top of Spectacle Rock, so Wulfy might go out of his way to pick up Tempered.
Yeah, for the cost of, what is it, about a minute? Yeah, I think Wulfy definitely will pick that up if he knows what's up there, which he should.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. He has the lamp. Well, the reason I say it's out of his way is because ideally you would want to start, you would want to go to Hera from the Dark World so that you could immediately walk out, take the portal, and go into Ganon's Tower. And that precludes you from going onto Spectacle Rock. Alright, so zer0rush takes a very quick route through Swamp Palace, and that is zer0rush's 5th crystal. He will then be heading over to Ice Palace, I'm sure.
Yeah, so also even better for our racers is Tower of Hera will more than likely be their last crystal, and they will basically take the Dark World route to get there, and they will mirror to do Tower of Hera and pop back in the Dark World portal for Ganon's Tower.
And see, that's why I was thinking that one of the runners, might not go for that sword upgrade that's on top of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, I don't think Zero will. I know Wulfy will for sure. I don't think Wulfy would, or wouldn't.
Yeah, we do know where the 4th sword was. It was, yeah, Dark Sewer. Alright, so Wulfy will be heading through Mire in as quick a fashion as possible. Hopefully he won't... Hopefully the first chest he'll check will be that compass chest that's blocked by 2 blue pegs.
I'm really interested to see if Zero checks for silvers. I think he will in that free Zero chest.
Okay. We'll see, for sure. Alright, so Wulfy picks up that big key. He's on his way out. zer0rush having a little bit of trouble with the Cactuar sprite lining up that Ice Palace bomb jump, but takes care of it.
I actually forgot to hit the switch too.
It
Frustration slashes, yeah.
And we're about to see the moment of truth as to whether or not zer0rush will pick up these silver arrows. BFG, it is in fact a Cactuar.
Oh, he skips it, wow.
Oh. zer0rush decides not to pick up the silver arrows. And we have ourselves a race again. I mean, I think you can pickle Cactus. It sounds like the sort of thing somebody would do. Alright, so Wolfie has those silver arrows, gonna just destroy Vitreous.
Definitely does make Vitreous child play with the silvers compared to the normal strats.
Alright, so zer0rush is going to head on up toward the Tower of Hera for the final crystal. And we will see what he does regarding swords. He does not care one bit, looks like, about that fourth sword. And I don't blame him one bit either. And zer0rush gonna head into the Dark World via the Turtle Rock portal, which is technically the fastest way to do so.
And also the Cactar showing how strong he was by lifting that big boulder with one arm.
Yep. Seems entirely legit. And so, zer0rush walks up to Ganon's tower and is going to use the mirror to head to the Tower of Hera.
Almost looked like he was hoping that it was only going to be 6 crystals required.
Nah, he knew it.
Aw, please don't make Tile Room a thing.
Tile Room could be a thing. And
Don't do it. No.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a short break.
No breaks allowed.
There are no brakes on this hype train!
Yeah, pretty much.
And zer0rush actually opting not to take a break. I actually don't blame him on account of it being a pretty big deal. He's
actually trying to get the boomerang dash drive, which is really swag.
Nice. And out the door we go. I'm gonna pick up this big key and then we will head straight for Moldorm. Wolfie not even bothering to pick up the chest in the waterfall room in Swamp Palace. That's the one place that I would normally check when I could improve my situation. Because it's right along the way.
Right, I have the feeling that both our runners have identified how quick this seed really is and are really afraid of where their opponents are right now.
Very true. Alright, so I'm thinking perhaps when zer0rush enters the Mothula room, we may want to start the guessing game.
I would say that's a good time because it's going to be like instantaneous.
Alright, so anybody who wants to guess the Ganon's Tower location, we've got 22 locations. where the big key can be. And yes, it can be a little troll dorm, but that'll just give us enough time to make sure everybody gets their guess in. So where do you think it'll be, Solsky?
I'm going to pick chest number 9.
9, you say? All right. We've got a -3 in the chat. That seems entirely legit.
Interesting.
It looks like
choice.
Wulfy will be picking up that 3rd sword upgrade.
I mean, for the time he's spending right now to get this tempered, it's going to save him time in Ganon and in Gauntlet, so he might as well.
Yeah, it seems entirely like the right plan. Nah, I picked 14, which is usually Bob's chest. Yeah, -3 is equivalent to 20 mod 23. Anyway,
zer0rush actually going full right side here in Ganon's tower.
All right, so full right side it is. All right, so that's chest number 5 and chest number 6. So far, not much for zer0rush. Let us see what he does from here. As expected, he'll be heading to the left side.
Yeah, normally if you go right side first, you'll mirror out. And there's the ice rod, by the way.
Ice rod on the torch.
That's fantastic. I was gonna say, so if you go like Dark Magician route, you'll normally commit right to Ice Armos, but if you go full right side, you always have that option to bail and go left side after the 5 chests or 6 chests there.
There's the big key. It's in location number 9.
Solsky wins.
You got it there.
All right, what did I win?
Well, today, and today only, you win a copy of Dr. Bobtastic's newest album, All the Small Keys, which only has 1 song on it right now, and it's not called All the Small Keys.
I'm willing to bid that out for money on eBay. Any takers, please DM me on Discord. Thank you. All right, so Wulfy making very quick work of Hera. He's heading on over to get to the Dark Warp for Ganon's tower. Meanwhile, zer0rush heading up into Gauntlet now.
It is not Price is Right rules.
I mean, at a 109 in Gauntlet, I don't know if Zero feels nervous or excited at this point. Probably a good mix of both.
109 is so fast. It's ridiculous. And Wulfy will be making his way into Ganon's tower. He can make up a little bit of time by going left side first.
zer0rush really has to be careful here, though, because he does not have any potions.
Oh yeah, 2 hearts here in the gauntlet. He does have the powder, so he could use it coming up. Yes.
Yeah. That's a good play. It's going to actually mess up the timing a little bit for the Lamos 2 fight here, but it's well worth it, honestly, to save yourself the death.
Alright, so Wulfy is going left side right now.
That's going to pay off for him. He might even elect to do DM route, but honestly, he's just going to run an epic key and be like, yo, I'm going up.
Yep. So, Wulfy with the silvers, zer0rush without the silvers. That's going to make a little bit of a difference in the Ganon fight. It's not a huge difference, to be honest. It's maybe 30 seconds or so, but it's pretty... It is significant.
Yeah, this race is very close considering the silver factor. Zero still has the edge, but if he misses a spin or two, like, it could be really close.
Easily. And it looks like we have a Gabraham Sandwich who just subscribed, so thanks for that. And zer0rush moves on to Trolldorm too. A spin and a slash, and that takes care of Trolldorm. No problems here. And zer0rush doesn't care that the silvers might be in that chest.
Yeah, I think he's pretty content at this point with just tempered.
Yep. So Wulfy just now entering the gauntlet area. That'll be a very interesting situation. And
why is chat talking about disco quotas?
I don't know. I'm told that they have like some sort of obsession with Dairy Queen.
Oh, I thought it was disco.
Or Dragon Quest. That's the other one I heard.
I mean, Disco Queen, maybe? Question mark?
Maybe. Dancing Queen. All right. So we had doubles all over the place. And Wulfy heads through those Wizrobe rooms. You just love using that Cane of Samaria for massive, or to its maximum potential there.
Alright, enough about the DQ. We got the hot Temper Sword only fight in Ganon right now with zer0rush.
This is the fight that most people who run the no major glitches category get used to, because that's what you generally have in an
I was gonna
NMG
say, he's
run.
just showing off right now without a potion.
Yeah. So 3.5 hearts, and we are on to the third phase of Ganon.
I don't think Zero needs to worry about getting hugged. I think Ganon needs to be worried about getting hugged with all those needles.
That's pretty true. And we'll set up the torch glitch, because Silverless Ganon, you want the torch glitch. So in order to destroy Ganon here, you need 12 spin attacks placed at just the right time as he is teleporting away while the torches are on.
And Zero's setting up for triples here, so this is going to speed up that fight even more.
Yeah. Looks like he's not going to get the second triple, but perfectly fine. And it looks like we have just 3 more to go. That's 1.
Oh, that's it.
2 more to go. I can't count. And here we are. There we are, zer0rush
Great.
defeats Ganon with an excellent time. Ladies and gentlemen, an official SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 6 seconds.
That's so fast. This was such a fun, fast race to watch. Real treat. Wulfy, meanwhile, just finishing off Agnum 2. He's going to be heading to Ganon now with Silvers. Going to be an even quicker Ganon fight.
zer0rush with the comment in the SRL chat. I don't think that seed could have fallen in my lap any harder than it did.
Oh yeah, like the Master Sword in the Dark Sanctuary into Tempered and Flute. Definitely.
And we are joined by our winner today, zer0rush. Hello, zer0rush. GG.
GG's, how's it going?
Pretty good. That was a pretty fast seed.
Yeah, I mean, other than falling on Moldorm, I'm not sure what I could have done much better there. That was, everything lined up perfectly for me, more or less.
That was pretty ridiculous. And you know, Wulfy here is just right behind you. He's on the Ganon fight. He did find the silver arrows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even, looks like, yeah, if he's right behind me, he must have taken much the same path I did.
The thing is, he went and cleared Ice Palace first.
Oh,
That's probably what caused it. But it was also what got him the silvers.
Yeah. Yeah, silvers are nice. They save like 40 seconds on Ganon, something like that.
So I'm told that the chat would like to know, you know, inquiring minds like to know about your feelings on Cactuars.
Oh, I love Cactuars. I was watching Sakura do V27 testing and saw this sprite, and I love his stupid little arms flailing around whenever he moves, so...
So adorable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I hadn't used him in my last race just because I hadn't practiced Ice Palace Bomb Jump with him yet, so I didn't want that to, like, bite me.
Right.
But,
And for those all interested, Wulfy finishing up with a SRL time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 19 seconds. Excellent play there.
I gotta ask, while on the topic of Cactuar, what do you think of its lift animation with the one arm?
oh, it's great. I think I like his swim animation and his crystal grab or item grab animation the best, with
All right,
mouth
and
wide open.
We are now joined by Wulfy. GG, Wulfy.
Thank you.
Hey, GG's.
GG.
So I wanted to sit here and discuss, you know, troll things that the seed did to you, but there really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess you could say it trolled you by not being trolly.
yeah, I did a physical double take when I got the hook shot,
Yeah, me too.
which was just insane. But I was fully expecting to have to go wander around, like Death Mountain or anything like that. But luckily, I didn't need to.
Let's be fair here. My co-commentator Solsky saw the hook shot and said, "Well, that's go mode," and I was like, "Really? Really?"
45 minutes in, yeah.
I just
Way
stopped and
fast.
think for a bit about whether I was actually in go mode because it came so early.
Yeah.
That was super fast.
It's a good contrast to some of the in the last race I did in particular, which was almost double the length of this one against Mike.
Oh yeah, I remember that being a particularly trolly seed.
Yeah,
So
other than
were
that,
there-
I mean,
Were there any
Okay.
major differences between our routes?
The main difference was you went to Ice Palace.
Oh, okay, and did he go to Pod instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the other main difference was Zero found Flute and Master Sword Temper really quick. Master Sword was actually in the Dark Escape, and Temper for him was in, I think, the Azor Ledge.
yeah,
Oh.
Azor Lich. Although, unfortunately, I found that after I had to do Mothula, but Hammer's good enough, I guess.
That was actually a really good hammer fight. It was pretty insane. This entire race was just full of great execution on both parts here. It's the sort of thing that really showcases the skills of the runners rather than how lucky you can get with your item choices. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about the seed itself. It was super straightforward. Like, there were some minor choices you could make which would cost you time, but everything was kind of... You would find an item, it would unlock a spot, you would go there, and it would have the next item, and it was just like that the whole time.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been quite a presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the skill that was on display here today. Runners, do you have anything else you'd like to say about this? Do you have anything you're looking forward to in the rest of the group?
Just some good matches, I guess. It'd be cool to win my next one, so that way I have 3 wins and should be pretty set.
Who's your last match, Zero?
Cransoon, I think.
Cransoon.
Yep.
The
That's
gambler
probably
himself.
most of our last matches. He had some stuff going on this week and last week, so he couldn't schedule matches until now-ish. So we
Right.
should hopefully get those scheduled soon, though.
That makes sense. So advancing to 2-1, that's going to put you in a much better position to try to reach the bracket stage. At 1-1, Wolfie, you're not anywhere near out. There's still plenty of opportunity for you to advance as well. So I think both of you can look forward to your next matches, and try to make sure that each of you does your best in the next few rounds. All right. So, and Wolfie, did you have any parting words?
Nope, that's all.
All right. So, as far as Randomizer goes today, that should be it as far as the main tournament goes, and I believe also for the secondary tournament, there is a match happening in the secondary tournament, but I do not believe it is being restreamed. So that's going to do it for today. We've got plenty of action coming your way tomorrow, though, so be sure to tune in for some of that. This has been an excellent race, just a few minutes separating both runners. All right, so thank you both to zer0rush and Wolfie. We appreciate all the effort you put into practicing for this and showing off your skills. Thank you to Sir Linkalot, our tracker, for taking care of all of that mess on the screen. It was kind of a rapid fire situation where we picked up things all the time, so I'm glad you were there to keep track of it. And of course, Epipolitikos, who is the guy running the restream today. Thank you to him. And Solsky, thanks for commentating with me as well.
Not a problem.
Oh, is the secondary match being restreamed? Excellent. So we do have the match happening over on the ALTTP Randomizer channel. So if you're interested in seeing more rando, we've got some. So just a few minutes into that race. So thanks for that. I wanted to throw out just a very personal shout out real fast. Right now, for those of you who don't know, the 11th annual Desert Bus for Hope Marathon is going on. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's kind of the OG charity marathon on Twitch, and it's pretty interesting. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But I've been Dr. Bobtastic, and I want to thank you all just so much. Solsky, what do you got?
I got that extremely impressive 159 menu glimpse from Wulfy. That is nice.
Whew. That
I know
is
it's a 115
sick menu.
speed, but my lord.
Yeah, I'm happy when my menu's under like 7 minutes, so. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw here, if you like all the things that you've seen, make sure to give everybody involved a follow, and especially follow the Speed Gaming Network and for all of the rando that you can stando as we head forward. All right, so with that, I am Dr. Bobtastic,
And I've been Solsky.
and I'll be signing off.
Bye.